Hello everyone, this is Decrypt. Today I'm going to show you how I will solve the TryHackMe machine convert my video. So the first step is to make sure we can reach the machine. So the machine's IP is 10.10.10.10.380. As you can see, it can reach the machine. The next step is to do the port scanning on the machine, nmap -pn for probe not, -sv for version probes, -SC for script scans, and I'm going to save it in nmap format -on 1010 380, and that's it. It is going to scan the top 1000 ports by default. It's going to take a while since so I have already run the scan, so I'm going to open the scan results real quick here. And we have port 22 and port 80 open. I have also run a full port scan on this tab here, just to make sure we're not leaving out on any other important ports. So very first thing is to go and take a look at the web port, which is port 80. So let's take a look. Off the bat, we have a page with a video ID input and a button with convert. Let's take a look at page source. Looks like it's just a simple page taking some input from us, and we see something like YTID. That is interesting. We might want to go and search Google for that. Maybe not. So we don't find anything there with respect to it. So let's go back, and before we continue exploring this page, I'd like to do a directory brute force on this. Let's use GoBuster and put it in dir mode. URL is this, and I'm going to use dirbuster word list from share word list dirbuster directly list 2.3 medium. I'm going to let it run at 50 threads, and I'm going to look for extensions like PHP. Before we check for that, it'll let me make sure if it's a PHP page or if it's a PHP application or any other. So to check that, we usually do this, do a /index.html. We find page not found error, do index.php, we find this page. So confirms that the page is a PHP page, so we want to include that. So look for text files, log files, HTML, HTM, and whatnot, conf. So I will do this for now and save the output in GoBuster port 80.log. So with that running, let's go and take a look here. So let's type something. Yeah, so we don't know what's happening. Maybe try some SQL injections. I don't see anything right here. So let's take a look at the traffic using Burp Suite. So I'm going to use Burp and open Burp. So I don't know where Burp resides in the parrot. Please pardon me a little bit there. I'm going to quickly find this out. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. Right here. Yep. Okay. I think we need the password for that. Start burp. So we have the proxy listening on port 8080, and I think I've configured my burp to just do that. Let's see. So let's type something to convert. As expected, we see the request intercepted here, send it to repeater, and let's go back and turn off burp. So now we have the traffic, and looks like it's taking a YouTube URL. So the very first step, what we need to do is try if you can, provide your machine's IP, the attacker machine's IP. So let's check our IP address real quick. So we have this. Let's take a copy of that and replace this youtube.com right here. Oh, we forgot to listen on port 80. So we are trying to do this because we want to see if the application is making requests to us. Looks like port 80 is already in use. Let's use another port and provide port 8000 here. Resend. So looks like we have something from this machine that we are attacking, but we are not sure what it is. I don't expect this to be the actual way of attacking it, so I'm not sure what's happening. Let's clear the screen once. Let's try this again. And we have this again. Anyways, we have an error message this time. So let's try and take a look here. Okay, so we have this error. So it looks like it has some error on the encoding part of it. Let's just quickly Google this error. So let me take the warning from here and here. Okay, so off the bat, it says YouTube DL. I think it makes sense because it was initially pointing to a YouTube URL. So if you go and look here, it's looking for YouTube URL, and we have this here, some error associated with that. So let's just see if we can understand or how this works. So let's go to YouTube DL, and the title of this machine is ConvertMyVideo. And if you go here, it says converting from, it doesn't say anything, but it looks like it's converting from video to MP3, at least from what I can understand. So let's go and see how this YouTube-DL script helps with that. So let's search for keyword MP3. So how do we use it? So let's try and search again. Maybe this time exactly converting video to MP3, something like that. Just copy that. Okay, so here we go. So we have the syntax for this command here. So I'm assuming the the machine that we are attacking is running the script and taking this YouTube URL from and taking this YouTube URL from the web request and passing it on to the shell command, which is not a very good idea. So we know that we can inject commands. So it could be vulnerable to command injections. So let's see if we can do anything here. So going back to the burp. So we need to see if we can send a shell back to us. So if the command, for example, is looking like this. So let's say take this, copy, paste. No, I didn't copy it full. My bad. Okay. Anyways, so let's say we have something like this, and say mp3, and here is our URL. So what would I naturally try to do is see if we can end this command right here and execute another command like ping our machine, see if we can, if you're getting a ping back to our machine. So let's see if we can do that. So let's try and ping our machine. So we need to listen for packets. So let's see, use TCP dump, ICMP. Okay, so let's actually you might also want to use the interface. Yeah, so let's go to burp and see if we can end the syntax of the previous command like this and ping ourselves. So let's quickly take the IP address of the attacker machine here, which is this, and go forward, ping. Maybe we gotta use some URL encoding. Let's say plus dash count dash C for count plus 4, and let's send this command right here. So we still get an error, but let's see. Yeah, it's for sure that it's saying it's using youtube.dl. So we managed to break the syntax of the command by using this semicolon, but we don't actually see the ping coming on to us. Anyway, so let's try if we can use the backtick technique. So it's similar to the shell technique, like where you do echo and backtick, and you can see ID returned this, and echo is just echoing that. Or another good example is just execute this and backticks. So maybe echo ID into file. If you catch the file, you find the ID command executed. If you do without backticks, you'll see this. So I guess you understand the difference between this and this. So we're going to use this technique, which will do a backtick, and the shell will, once it sees this, it's going to try and execute that as a shell command. So it's still listening. And this time we have another error, end of file in back code substitution. So what happened there? So let's try and remove this argument and just have this. Okay, we still have the same error. I have a doubt whether the script is trying to it's breaking because of the fact that we are adding any spaces, but unfortunately we need some character to be placed between our commands and the arguments so that we can execute them. Like we need spaces basically. If we can't, so let's do this and see what happens. It's saying shell error and saying ping is not found. So we for sure know that the backtick is getting executed, but if you try and do a space here, it gives this error. So this is not end of the this is not end of the road for us, fortunately, because there are techniques that can help in this situation. So I'm going to search command injection space bypass, and so let's take a look here. Okay, search for space. Nope, we don't have anything right there. Space bypass without space. That's exactly what we want to see. Without spaces. Okay. Okay, so we have the IFS. So IFS stands for internal field separator. But I don't think we need to use this command right here because IFS indeed will help us provide the separator we need. For example, if you take a look here, so it's using echo dollar the flower brackets IFS and RCE. So let's try and take a let's try and execute this in our machine and see what happens before we try it on the target. So as you can see, even if we don't have any space here, that we are able to leverage the IFS, which is the internal field separator, and execute it successfully. So this could be a potential way for us to bypass that. So let's let's go back to burp and see if we can use that to ping ourselves. I'm going to use it a couple of places. So we'll do ping and we'll do -C because I don't want the system to be, keep pinging us perpetually. So just do 4 and do this again. So if everything worked well as expected, so we should be receiving 4 ping from the target machine. And as expected, we see 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we know for sure that we are able to inject commands. The natural next step is to get ourselves a neat reverse shell. So let's make a script called bash.shell and type a reverse shell command here. So let's go to Google and get a good reverse shell from Pentest Monkey or any other. So reverse shell cheat sheet. So if you go here, the very first thing is the bash one. We take that and the IP of attacker machine here. 10.10. I guess it was 8 something. 10.6.8.225. Double make sure it's correct. Yeah, 10.6.8.225. And we got it. Let's use port 443 and see if this works. So just save it here, and I think we can stop this one because we are there almost with a potential foothold there. So let's serve this file using Python HTTP server. I want to use port 80. I'm not sure where in hell the port 80 is being used, so still go with this one. And I'm going to use this to listen on my machine. So netcat, okay, it's already in use. So probably we gotta go back and change this to maybe this. So we're gonna use -L for listen, V for verbose, P for port, and we're gonna listen on port 4443. So we named our script bash.shell. So let's see. So let's do curl and just do the IFS here and bash.shell and need to do the IFS again and pipe it to bash bin bash. So it's we forgot that you're serving on port 8000. Yep, and that should work. Let's see if this works. Yep, so we have a shell, and first thing, let's upgrade to a TTY shell. So make sure we have Python installed on this. And we do. Python command import pty semicolon pty.shell spawn bin bash. So we also do export for xterm, Control Z background, and we use the regular technique for allowing us to use the history of commands like this, and we do a FG to get the background process to foreground, and if we use clear now, it should help. Yep. So the very first thing is I gotta check who I am on this machine. So I'm a www data, and most possibly we don't usually find any privileges for this account right off the bat. So let's try and quickly take a look. So it's asking for a password, so we don't have it. You Control Z on it and exit. Very next thing is to see what Linux version it's running as. So we gotta take a note that it's running Ubuntu x64 and 4.15. Looks like it might have some exploits, but let's not go that route yet. So before we do anything any further, I would simply just try and explore the current directory and see if we have any configuration files or any scripts that has hard-coded prospects in it. So do l-la and we find htaccess here, and try.shell was not from me. It's probably maybe from my previous attempt. So let's go to admin. Looks interesting. And we have a flag. And so we have read access to that. Yes, we do. So we own the file, and that's the user flag, I believe. And we see any of the files present in this directory. And yep, we have a potential password file. Just do cat on it. And we have username, it's me admin, and see if we have this user on this machine, and we don't. So I'm not sure about cracking this one. Maybe we can, just why not? But I don't think it's gonna be useful to us. But let's anyways crack it and see if we can use that password for any other users we have. Like if we go and look at home, we probably find some of the users. Like yeah, we have DMV. So let's crack the password anyway. So write the password here, hash.text, and exit. I want to use John to crack the password, and I'm not sure if it's wordless or wordless, but let's try this. Use user share wordless rockq.text. Okay, I'm not sure what happened right there. Okay, let's do this. Okay, I'm not sure what I'm missing. Let's use hashcat, which can also crack hashes. Let's see if we have that installed. We do. And hashcat -a mode, I guess it's 1600 for MD5 crypt. And what else? Maybe --4 might be required. Massive value must be a number. Okay, I guess it's A1. And we are missing the password list. So take it. Ah, you know what? Let's just Google it. So what's the command for that? I think it's use A0, but that's not what I'm looking for. It depends on, so I think we need to use We are using the right command, but let's try and get rid of A. I'm not sure why I used it. But let's just take that off. And here we go. And so we have it cracked to be Jesse. So naturally, we want to try and use this password on this another user that we have. So let's switch to DMV. And it didn't work. So before going any further, I don't think we will have any other interesting things to look at if we don't enumerate further. So I have already placed another script called linpiece.ps shell. So that's a script that I showed in my previous video when I was working on retro. It's a Linux privilege escalation script. So go linpiece and can take a look at it. So it's pretty much gonna lay out the possible PE vectors, and it also gives a color-coded output, so it's very useful for us. So just take that and download and transfer that over the attacker to the victim machine, and let's execute this. So as you can see, it's gonna have this if it's a 99% PE vector. So let's see what it comes up with. We have something which we already found, so we don't need it. If we can get something else, that would be great. So let's see. We have Python, pseudo PHP Perl. We have GCC 8. That could be useful. So if you need to compile some exploits on the victim machine, we might be able to use this. And we have a bunch of process running as different users. Off the bat, I can see that the user root executing something from this path here, which is var www.html. If you remember, we are the user www data, which means we own this directory. So we might be able to get a privilege escalation as root if we are able to modify this file. So let's jump right onto that and see if we can do something right there. So let's copy that and let's check the permissions on the file. And we indeed own the file, so it's going to be easy privilege escalation right here if the root user is executing the shell script again. So let's use nano, and I hate to see this because this was my previous attempt on this machine, so I hate to do the spoilers for you guys, but unfortunately here we go. So we have the command to send a reverse shell back to us. So let's listen on a different port, 4443, and I think that's my IP right there. Let's double check. I'm pretty sure that's my IP. So yep, that is my IP. And if all goes good, we might get a shell on our port 4443. So we just gotta wait patiently for some time until the shell arrives. Make sure the port was correct here. some things went bad here. I'm not sure. I lost control on my terminal. All I have, yes. So never mind. We have the shell as root, and we are root. We can go to /root and grab our flag. Yep. So let's do cat.text count. Yep, that's all, guys. We have managed to get a root on this machine in a relatively short time. The very interesting part for me was this using IFS. So I found it to be interesting because this is some of the old techniques that we gotta revisit, because usually we don't have this level of complexity. So we will be able to execute commands with just space or using plus characters or any kind of URL encoding for spaces. But this was interesting in my opinion. So please do let me know what you found interesting on this machine. And with that said, I'm going to sign off early today, and I'll find you on another learning opportunity. Until then, decrypt. Please subscribe, like, and comment, and see you. Bye.